Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial we're going to go ahead and continue with our Flask QR code generator. So I'm simply building a website that users can use to generate QR codes and also to decode the QR code so they can get the information that is stored in the QR code. So in this tutorial we're going to go ahead and actually do the decoding function, whereby users can upload an image, a QR code image, and then get the information that has been stored in the QR code. So if you're new to the channel, kindly consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and giving sharing this content with anyone that you might think might find this content helpful. So kindly join the community. I'm just trying to create a YouTube platform where you can learn different technologies using Python, JavaScript, and other programming languages. So if you're interested in programming and web development, computer vision, data science, please kindly consider subscribing to this channel. So let's get started with today's video. So let me just run I'm in my project directory, and I have my virtual environment activated. So make sure that you have your virtual environment activated as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and actually run the application so that you can see sorry, this is actually Python 3 and then run.py, and then if I run that, what you're simply going to get is a Flask server started on localhost at port 5000. So when I go back to my browser and type localhost at port 5000/index, which is our index page, and you press enter, you're just going to get the index page, which is this much. If you press on this, it's going to bring you to this site where you can pass in information, and then you can generate QR code using that information. And from there you can also download the image. You can download this image like we did last time. So in this tutorial we're going to learn how, if a user downloads this image, how the user can upload this image again and decode the QR code so you can get the information that has been stored in the QR code. So great. So you can see I have the image downloaded right here. So let me go ahead and write the functionality to decode the QR code. But before that, if I go to index page, you can find the index page has nothing. So I've written a code here that is going to just put some kind of front end that the users can see. So I have it on my GitHub repository. The link is in the description. So it's in a file called index.html, and index.html is a file that you are returning whenever we go to that /index. So let me just go ahead and open up Visual Studio Code so you guys can see what I'm trying to talk about. So now that I have my Visual Studio Code opened up, you can see these are the templates right here, and I'm going to create another template called index.html. So I'm just going to create a template here. I'm going to call it index. So let me just get the index.html, and this way I'm going to keep my index page content. So I'm just going to create it here, and then I'm going to upload that index content right here. So this index content is what the user is going to see whenever the user goes to /index. This is the page that is going to see whenever the user goes to that /index page. So if I go here, the user goes to localhost at port 5000 /index. This is what the user currently sees. So now I want to update so the user can see something much more helpful. So let's just wait for this to create the file. Today I don't know why my PC is a bit lagging. So inside of this file, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to paste this code right here, and this code is on my GitHub repository. So if you go back to just go into my GitHub repository, you can find it in the QR code generator /applications templates and then index.html, and you can find this code right here. So this code is just going to allow us to display an image on the front end. So now this is the image file that you're going to display to the user. Now I don't have that image, so I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to select any image I want. So I'm going to say rename, and then I'm going to make sure that I copy that, and I press enter. And then in here I'm going to change this to be that specific file name. So I'm going to paste that right here, so that if you go back to our routes here, instead of returning in a layout, I'm going to return index.html, and index.html extends layout.html. So if I go back and then start my server again and then run this, and then go to localhost at port 8000 /index, I should be able to get access to this route over here, and this route simply returns to me this specific template called index.html. So now that my server has already started, I'm going to go in here and then simply go under here and then try to refresh this page. This return to us just we got an error here. It says that did you mean index? So let's try to see here. So okay, I've index.html. So let me see where I'm getting that error from. So I'm returning index.html. So let me just try to see index right here. So index.html. So I wonder why it's not returning that template. Let's try to figure out what the error is. So let me just scroll down here. It says here I think we have an error right here, which is decode QR code. So I think this is the place where we have an error right here. So I haven't uploaded these two logic for now. So let me just go ahead and actually comment these two part out, because we haven't yet uploaded it. So I'm just gonna comment this out for now, and then we'll come back, we'll uncomment this later on. So for now, let me just check if the server is running. It is. Let me just try to refresh this page. We still have an error right here. It's let me just go back and see, maybe I made an error. So let me see what the error is. So it says that let me see here, extends layout.html and then block content. Okay, I have an error here. So let me try to find out where the error is. Let me just try to stop my development server and then restart my development server again. And once that is restarted, what I can simply do is try to refresh this page again. Do Ctrl Shift and R, and then see where the error is. So let's say generate QRCode. Where is that specific place? But I commented this out, but I don't know why it's still pointing to it. So now I'm just gonna delete it for now, and then we'll come back to it. Okay. I hope that will solve our error. So let's try to refresh this again. Yeah, and that solves the error. So later on we'll keep the code back here, and which is going to draw for us those specific buttons that we can use to access the different decode and generate QR code links. So for now we can just go back to our routes, and let's create a route called upload, where the user is going to be using to upload the different images. And for that, you're going to be using Flask-Dropzone. Okay. So first of all, let's go ahead and create the route first. So let me just create a route here. So let me just create a route here, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to say at app.route, and then I'm going to say the route is going to be the following. So I'm going to say /upload. Sorry for that error. I'm going to say here upload, just like that. Let's /upload rather. So /upload. And then I'm also going to specify the method. So the methods that are going to be allowed on these methods that are going to be allowed on this method, on this route, are going to be a post and a get. So okay, get and a post. Okay, whatever you order you please to call it, so post. So once I have that there, and I'm going to create a function called upload, and I'm going to pass in I'm not going to pass in anything. So for now, what we're simply going to do, we're going to check if the request is a post method. So for now, let me just also do something. Let's just return the template for now, and later I'll show how to write that logic. So I'm going to specify the template. This is going to be upload I call it uploaded .html, and then in here I'm going to specify the title, and the title is going to be let me just call it upload, just like that. So for now that we have this, let's go into our template, and let's create a template called by this name uploaded. So I'm just going to create a template here, and I'm going to copy uploaded.html, just like that. And in uploaded.html, this way we're going to return our HTML files. Okay, the upload HTML file. And for this, you're going to be using Flask-Dropzone. So if you have I think you have installed Flask-Dropzone already. So let's just go to Google and just try to access it. So let's try to access the route for this. So say Flask-Dropzone, just like that. Python, just like that, and let's search for that specific library. So now once we search for it, you should get this link right here. Let's open the link, official link for Flask-Dropzone, and this way it is going to enable the user to be able to drop those images in there, and then we'll upload those specific images. So I'm just going to click on installation. So in here I'm going to copy this code, pip install Flask-Dropzone. So I'm just going to copy that, and then clear my template. To do after that is installed, in here you're going to extend the layout.html. So I'm going to extend that. So I'm going to say extends, and then you're going to say layout.html, just like that, and then you're going to open that block content. I'm going to have that block content right here. You're going to say block content, just like that, and then you're going to here say simply end block, just like that. So once we have those that setup, in here you can just simply return a div. So I'm going to return a div having a class of justify. hyphen content. This is bootstrap classes, so I'm going to say identify content center, and it's going to create as a div, and I'm going to simply return a h4 there, and I'm simply going to say drop I can say drop QR code to get decoded info, just like that. So for now, let's go ahead and see if the Flask is already installed. The Flask-Dropzone is already installed. So I'm going to go ahead and try to run my Flask application again, and then I go to // let me just go to the route and I show you. If I go to /uploads, it's going to return to me this template, and this template is going to return simply this. So let's just check if it's running. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to go to my page right here, and I'm going to go to /upload, just like this, and it's going to return to me simply this. Okay, so now let's create the drop zone, the area where the user can be able to draw. So it just be a box where the user can be able to drop the images there. Settings here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my init.pal file, and in my init.pal file I need to specify the following configurations. So I need to in here I need to specify the following. So I need to just keep a comma, and I need to say drop, I'm going to call drop zone underscore allowed. So this is going to be the allowed underscore allowed file underscore type. So this is going to be the file type that you're going to allow. So this game I'm going to say image, let me just say image, just like this. And then for the we're going to also say drop zone underscore max underscore file underscore size. So this is going to be the max file size, and you're going to specify 3, and then you're going to specify drop zone, and then you're going to specify underscore max underscore files, and the max files are going to specify only 1, so you can only upload 1 file there. So you can go and read more about this on the official documentation of Flask-Dropzone. So just go say drop, you're going to say drop zone is going to be drop zone, and then I'm going to pass in here, I'm going to pass in our app. So that's the instantiator. So you have to import this from Flask-Dropzone. So you have to say down here, you have to say from Flask-Dropzone this Flask-Drop underscore Dropzone import Dropzone, just like that. So from Flask-Dropzone we import Dropzone, and we specify these configurations, and then we instantiate the Flask-Dropzone. Okay, so once we have that set up, we can go to our uploaded.html, and in our uploaded.html what you're simply going to do first, this sorry, I made a mistake here. This is supposed to be called, let me just change the name of this. It's going to be called upload.html and not uploaded. So if I do that, I have to also go in here and change it to upload.html. So once I have that done, I can go back into my upload.html file, and in here I can specify the configurations for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my templates, and then go to upload.html, and in there you're going to now edit this upload.html template. So what I'm simply going to do is very simple. It's going to put some parameters here. You're going to say drop zone dot create. So you can also get this from the official documentation, and then action is going to be equals to the route we want to upload this to. We're going to say upload, where it's going to be uploaded. So we're going to now go ahead and specify all the other settings. So I'm going to say also here, I'm going to say drop zone dot load, drop zone dot load. Let me just get the spelling of load right, load underscore js. Make sure you call that, it's a function. And then here you're going to say drop zone dot config, just like that. So once you have this set up there, so we have this drop zones configuration set up. So you're saying drop zone dot create, and which is going to be the place where the drop zone is going to be uploaded, and then we are going to load the JS, and we're going to load that configuration. Okay, so now let's go back into our routes file. We need to update some things in here. So you can even try to run the website right now, check if it's running, and then clear that. You can try to run that again. So we're going to go into our routes, and in our routes we need to specify some more instructions here. So once this is done, you can go back and try to refresh this and see what you get. So refresh this and you can see we have this right here. So you have that right there. So what you're going to do simply is write the logic for this drop zone. So I can see the drop zone for some reason. So let me just check why I can see that specific drop zone, because the drop zone doesn't appear as expected. So let's check out something. So what we need to do, we need to go into our layout file. So we're going to go to our layout.html file, and at the beginning of the file, just right here at the very top, what I'm simply going to do, let me just scroll until the end and then do some spacing here. So I'm going to add in my drop zone here. So you say drop zone, and then in here you need to specify some code here. So we need to specify this. So I'm going to specify another variable. So drop zone.load underscore css. That's why you can see that the drop zone field. So I'm also going to load going to say drop zone dot style, and you can say the following style. So you can say border, you can say 2 pixels, and you can say dashed. I just copy this from the official documentation. So dash, and I can specify an argument here. Dash, going to say 00, and then I can say 8 7 capital F and then another 7. I hope I got that right. Once I have that, I can specify margin. So margin, I can specify the margin here, and the margin is going to be 2%, and then 10%, and then 2% again, and then another 10%. Yeah, and then we have mean hyphen height, and the mean height is going to be 400 pixels. So I can say 400 pixels, just like that. So once we have that there, let's try to go check if the website is running. Yeah, it is, the server is rather. And if I refresh, you can see we have that drop zone, and this way we can drop our file. So you can select a file and drop it in here. So I can just go and try to get the file that I just downloaded. So I'm going to my downloads folder, and my downloads folder, and then I'm going to drop. I'll try to drop in here a file. So even if you click drop a file in here, so I'm just gonna close this for now, get back this, and I can drop a file in there. So now that my file is up, my computer has uploaded that, I can just simply drop a file in here and need to upload that specific file. In this scenario, we're not doing anything with the file, so the file is just gonna be here. So now what we want to do is to write the logic for this file to be uploaded to our website. So what we're simply going to do is we go back to our routes, and in our routes, this way we're going to now write the logic for the files to get uploaded. So we're simply going to do, we're going to right now say if request.method is a post method. So we're going to say if let me just get if request if request.method is a post method. So if the request method is a post method, what we're simply going to do is we're going to now I'm going to create a variable here called decoded information. So I'm going to create a variable here. I'm going to call the decoded underscore info, and this is going to be an empty string for now. So I'm going to get access to the global then it's called decoded information. Okay, and then what you're going to say file, the file is going to be request dot file dot files rather dot get. Now specify the file that you want to get. So just simply pass in file. Now we're going to do file name, the file name, which is going to be file name comma extension, and this is going to be file f.file name dot split. You're going to split this basing on a full stop. So you're going to split this, you're going to get the file name, and then you're going to get the extension of the file. So you're going to generate a file name. So generated underscore file name. So I'm going to say generated file name. So make sure I get the spelling right, file name, and the generated file name is going to be secrets dot token underscore hex. The token hex, you're going to just pass in 10, and then you're going to add to it that file extension. So you're going to pass it to it an f string, and you're going to specify say dot png, just like that. We can actually specify the file extension instead of just doing a png. You can just say we can say the file extension here. So you can say extension, just like that. So when you split the file name into you split the file name into the file name itself and the extension based on the full stop. So you're going to now generate a random token hex, and you're going to now generate a file with that, maybe something, it will be something like this. So it will be something, just some gibberish, and then dot, and then that's file extension, maybe it's a png, so it will be a png, just like that. So once we have the file name generated, we can go ahead and just specify the upload location, and the file underscore location, it is going to be os.path.join. So I'm going to join the app.config, and then I'm going to get the uploaded file name. So I'm going to go to my configs file. I want to get this part here, so I'm going to back to my routes and then simply paste that in there. So I'm going to join this. With generated file name. Okay, so once that we have the file name generated, I'm going to save this file. So I'm going to file.save, and I'm going to save that specific file that I want. So I'm going to save the file, and what I'm simply going to do is just specify the file location, and the file will be saved in that file location. So we need to import OS here. So I'm just going to go ahead and import OS, just like that. So let me just remove this, you don't need it. So here, so we are just going to save the file in the file generated name. So the file upload path, the upload part of the file is going to be this, which is going to be the static directory. So it's going to save the image within that static directory. Okay, so once you have the image saved, what you're simply going to do is you're going to go ahead and actually do an image and read that image. So you're going to do we're going to say image equals to you need to import cv2. So you go ahead here and import cv2. So just say import cv2, just like that. And if you don't have cv2 installed, watch the first draw where we went over how to install all of this. Okay, so cv2 we're going to do cv2.imread. You're going to read that, and then you're going to specify the file underscore location, which is going to be the file name. Okay, the part of that file name. Okay, so once you have that the file name, we have read the file, we're going to simply generate a QRCode decoder using OpenCV. So it has this class called QRCode detector. So we're going to detect the QR code, and you're going to get the value, the points, and then the st underscore code, and this is going to be decoded. So we're going to say the decoded decoder dot detect and decode, just like that. You're going to call this function and pass in our image that we have just saved up. So once we have that, we can do os as long as we have read the image, we can do os dot we can remove that image since we no longer need it. So you can just do dot remove, and I'm simply going to pass in my my file location, because I have read the file and I have decoded the file in the information. There is no point in keep storing the file, so we're just going to delete that file right here. So once we have that, we have the decoded information already. So decoded information is going to be the value, it's going to be this value here, which is going to be the decoded the information that we stored in the QR code. And if you want to know how QR code work, I have a whole series on QR codes, how to generate QR codes and how to decode them. So if you want to check out, you're interested, you can check out that video on how to decode QR codes. So once I have that done, I can just create an else, because in case the the request is not a post request, then we have an else, and this else is going to simply return return this right here. So I'm going to do is going to return this right here. So if it's not a post request, then you're going to return to the user that specific simple form. Okay, great. So now that we have that set up, let's try to go ahead and see another information that we can pass in. So if you go back to our init.py here, so you can see in our init.py there's a part where you can specify which let me just show you what's the name of that thing. So we have a method to specify the where to redirect the user after the user has uploaded the file. So when the user uploads the file will get sent here, and this we have specified it right here. The file should be sent to, we have the decoded information already. And then what we want to do now, after this has been done, we want to redirect the user to a certain page whereby we can show the user the information that you have obtained from the QR code. So how to do that is we're simply going to go into our init file here. So we're going to specify a configuration here. So we're going to say app.config, and then in here you're going to say the folder. We're going to say decoded, so drop zone underscore redirect underscore view, just like that. So the redirect view is going to be the following. It's going to be decoded, and you're going to create a route called decoded, and you're going to redirect the user to this specific route. So for now, let's just go ahead and create that route. So I'm going to my routes here. So let's go ahead and create a route where you can direct the user after the file, the information has been decoded. So I'm going to simply create down here. I'm going to create a route. So I'm going to say app.route, just like this, and you're going to simply say / decoded. Okay, and then the method is going to be allowed here. We're going to not the must specify the method. We're going to allow just a get method. So you're going to specify the function is going to be called decoded. And in here, what you're simply going to do is you're going to now pass in, you're going to now do the following. So you're going to say global, you're going to refer to the global decoded info, just like that. And in here, what you're simply going to do, you're going to return a template. So return render template, and you're going to specify the name of the template. And this template is going to be called decoded.html. And then you need to specify the title. So the title is gonna be decoded or something, decoded. And then you're going to pass in the decoded info, and then you're going to pass in the decoded underscore. For now, you can just leave it. For now, you can just return, make sure that you return to this route. So let's go ahead and create a route for this, and you can call it decoded.html, just like that. And I'm going to copy one of these. I'm going to copy this, simple, paste it here, and then we don't need this, so it's going to be delete all of this, and then you can say change this to be decoded information, just like that. So now you're just going, if you upload an image, you get redirected to this route after the image has been saved, decoded. But for now, you're not going to display the information to a user. We're just redirecting the user to this specific HTML template, which has this text called decoded information. So let's try it out, and let's check if our functions our server is running. It's not, so let's start again. So now that the server is running, you can just go back to in here and just try to upload an image. So I'm just gonna go here again, and then let me click on let me change this route to be / upload, so I can get this upload page. So now once you are here, I'm just gonna bring this and then drop in this QR code here, and let's see what happens. Once this is uploaded, we're supposed to get redirected to this / decoded, in which it simply returns to us the decoded information. Now what you want to do is want to show the actual information that has been obtained. The actual information, you have stored it in this variable called decoded, which is this global variable here. So what I want to do, I want to pass this global variable to my template, so I can specify, say, data, and data is going to be decoded info, just like that. So inside of our template here, you can just access that decoded information. So you can just say this, and then you can just say in here you can just say data, just like that, decoded information, or just anything. So let me just go back and try this one more time, check if my server is running. It is. So I'm just gonna go in here, change this to be upload, and I'm going to go to this, and then simply drop this in here, and then you can simply get the decoded information, which was just google.com, because that's what the information that we use to generate this QR code. So you get the information, www.google.com. so you get back the decoded information. So that's how you can store store the information and decode that specific information. So the application works fast. Now let's go back and fix the index page, and then we'll be done with this project. So I'm going to go back to my GitHub page, and I'm simply going to copy this right here. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go into my template, and I'm going to go into index, and I'm going to paste it right here. And the reason why I'm pasting it right now is because we have these routes already generated, so we can go back and paste it there, because we're having that error because these routes were not generated. Now these routes are generated, so everything should work. The server is running. Let's try to refresh this. Okay, we have an error here, so we can say index we have an error. It says you can let me just try and generate QR codes. Let me go to my routes. I don't know why that's giving me an error. So let's say generate QR code. Let's try to find a specific route. Okay, this specific route, I think you use the name of the function rather than name. You don't use this route here. You don't use these things here. You have to use the name of these functions, right? So I'm going to copy that, go to my index page, and then paste that function right there. and then also upload. So let me just go ahead and try check the server is running. It is. So let me just go and refresh this. So now you can see that error is fixed. So my error was that I used the name of that the name of the route, I used the URL for this route instead of the route function name. So you have to use the route function name and not the route URL. Okay, so once that's done, so that let me just go back in here. So if I press on this, it's going to direct me to generate a QR code. So let me just go back, and if I press on this, it's going to go to upload, where I can upload an image. So great. So now let's also fix this so that the users can go to this page. So we can just go back to our layout. Let me just close this, go back to our layout, and then in here where we said decode the QR code, what you're simply going to say is going to say upload is the name of our route. Okay, so in here you need to use the name of these routes, these routes right here, but in the template you need to use the name of that route function. Okay, so that's the difference. So sorry for that error. So now here we're going to say upload. So if I go back to the page, check if the server is running. It is. And if I go click here and I go on this, it's going to take me to upload, where I can upload. If I click on this, it also takes me to where I need to go, and if I click on this, it does that as well. So everything else is fixed. So now you can generate a QR code. Let me just say hello world in there, and then I'm just going to generate that QR code. And once this QR code is generated, I can simply download that QR code, which is going to be downloaded here. So I'm just going to open it and show it in the folder. This is going to pop up. So once that, I can just go to decode the QR code. So I can just bring back this to my downloads. Let's wait for this to load today. So now I have my image there. I can just simply drop it in here. I can drop it and you can see the information that has been stored in there. It says hello world, and a hello world has been returned to us. So guys, this is how it is very simple to generate a website that can generate QR codes and decode QR codes using Python, Flask, OpenCV, and other libraries that we have just used. So guys, this is the end for this tutorial. If you enjoyed this tutorial so far, if you enjoyed this series so far, kindly consider liking this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Make sure you kindly hit the subscribe button. See you in the next one. Keep safe.